Hello, everyone. Akasa Living here with artist extraordinaire and friend for life. And I'm just going to leave it at that and not get into the years that we're talking. Annette Baucum. Hey.
Hey.
Y'all know Annette because she's like always at the meditations. Thank you so much for that, because I don't know how I would do them without your support and your insight into them. But what I want to talk about right now is, well, behind me, what you all always see there are the three angels, and then the paint pour, which the light's kind of obstructing. But those are Annette Baucum originals. And those are archangels that she did for me. The green is Raphael, the red is Metatron, the yellow is Uriel. But so she's kind of did an archangel series for me. And a new one arrived the other day. As a matter of fact, I was going out the door and I nearly tripped over it because it was supposed to take much longer to get here. And it was here. So I'm going to unveil it now, which means I'm going to lift it up and show it to y'all. It's the big unveiling here. But and ask Annette to talk about, and well, who is this Annette?
This is Archangel Ariel.
Yeah. What?
So she's a little different than the other angels in that she is the protector of some of the things that she does. One of the things is she's protector of the animals and wildlife on Earth. And so, yeah, she's a warrior. So I kind of wanted not quite an angel outfit, but something that would portray her as the warrior that she is, how she stands up for life and animals and all that. So, I mean, I wanted her beautiful, but I wanted the warrior in her to come out. And then,
you accomplished all that. Okay, you started as you've been doing with the Archangel series, which I love that you do this with the paint pour. So how did you decide on the colors for that? I mean, I know you went earthy, but I mean.
Well, I do a little research, and look at other people's opinions and what they think. And then some of her colors, were the earth colors. And then I like to put enough of other colors, in there to kind of make it pop. And so magenta is just pretty color, and then the green is for the earth, plants and the fauna and that kind of stuff, flora. And I don't know, I just like to have colors that kind of are a little opposite each other. And then and then it came out with just enough of the of those colors, to make it pretty. And then I love the metallics,
the metallics are amazing. And the way you did her wings, of course, the wings in the other paintings, which we're going to talk about, by the way, I've got to take them off my wall to do it, but we're going to talk about those too. So look for those episodes too. But her wings are different. And we discussed as you were going to do it, the fact that you wanted the paint pour to come through. So how did you end up doing her wings?
Well, I actually wanted them translucent, and it's kind of hard to do. And I thinned my lighter metallic down, and it was actually too thin. But there is a way that the light hits the painting that it looks opaque, and then another way you can pretty much, see through them. But I still left it light enough to see some of the colors in the background when the light's not directly shining on them. When it is, it's just reflecting the metallic. But yeah, when you're looking at it in a different light, you can see the color behind it.
You can see them. Yeah. And when you're right up on it, you can as well. Yeah, of course. Now, most times when I love the research you did into Ariel, because most times when you see the cards, oracle cards, those kind of things, what I've come across, not researching, not looking into details, but just what I've come across, she's a wispy little fairy-like thing. She's not, it's like they don't portray her as what you researched and found out that she is. And so I love that you did that. And I'm not being critical of others in their portrayal. I'm sure they're being channeled what they're doing or whatever. They have a reason. But the research you did, and then of course I know you don't ever take anything at face value either. You meditate a great deal, not just with me. Yes, people, she meditates with me a lot, but she has her very own private practice that is very deep. And so I know you were guided in doing this. So I'm really interested about the private guidance you got, because you don't talk a lot about that, but you're like the walking embodiment of wisdom. And so I know that I know you were guided. And so I'm really curious about the insight you got into her beyond what you read, and why she looks the way she looks and feels the way she feels, because she feels, well, frankly, badass. But there's nothing wimpy about this woman, and yet there's nothing masculine about her either. In that, and I'm not trying to put labels, masculine, feminine, on us, but I mean, she's very much a woman. She's very much, yeah. So what was your guidance on doing this painting?
Well, in the course of a painting, as you know,
Yes, I know where you're going with this.
Sometimes things change. So I might initially have, a vision. And then as I'm working on it, then, whoever, I start getting, no, this isn't quite right. This isn't quite how, excuse me, I want it. And so then, yeah, things just come to me. I mean, yeah, I meditate on stuff, and sometimes I might get an answer then, or I just kind of leave that channel open to, yeah, just help me while I'm doing it before I paint. I usually just say a quick, okay, help me out here, give me some guidance. And then usually it might take a couple of changing things around, but usually it just comes together.
Yeah. Well, of course, her hair is like a mane, which I love, like a dark lion mane, and there are lions that are very dark, and so I absolutely love that. The pouch around her neck, so she can keep items in it, so she's constantly fresh, I suppose would be what, relevant and fresh, and so that. But and then her wand, which is very significant. But the whole work is just, yeah, it's just fantastic. And I think the reaction I've been getting from people is, oh my God, I love her. Oh my God, I love her. And not what people expect. I've heard people say, Disney doesn't know that what Ariel's supposed to be like. I've been getting that too, but they love what you got and what you did with her. And she is definitely, she says strength, she absolutely says strength. So any final things you want to say about it?
Well, yeah, I did draw inspiration from another source, and she was a lot of my inspiration for what I'm sorry, for what this painting embodies. So yes, there was a particular person, and so yeah, like, this is how I envision her energy, and a lot of that went into Ariel.
Yeah, and it shows too. It shows in that your works are very real. They're very real. I mean, they're course works of art, and they're based upon what you get channeled in, but at the same time, there's just so much realness there, and the energy that comes off of them is amazing. So I'm holding it, and the energy that it is just shot up since just holding it. It's like, okay, all right, I'm like getting overloaded here just holding the work. And so I know how much energy is in each one of them. And so folks, Annette Baucum Originals. This one is Ariel. Yes, it's mine. And I'm so blessed that they arrived at my doorstep, and I can't thank you enough for all of them. And yes, I guess I do want to kind of address the whole that there's human inspiration or people inspiration. We are light beings. We are light beings, and many light beings are incarnate. Some have been incarnate before and aren't incarnate now, but we're one whole complete light being. And so I've said on an episode recently that you may be Archangel so-and-so incarnate right now. You know, that is highly possible. So so Archangel Ariel has been incarnate at times in history, and being guided to who or what that may have been or that kind of thing, that is a significant part of being an energy channel, of having all your chakras intact, of communicating with the Akasha, the cosmic field, all the other light beings around us. So I feel like you got channeled, you got pointed to the energy of Ariel. You know, I feel like you captured that energy because you were channeled to earthly representations of it, whether incarnate now or incarnate in the past. You were led there. And I would tell anyone that if they feel like, you know, I've always felt like there's something about me, I always felt like there's a calling on my life or whatever. There are many archangels. There are many, you know, that's what Atlantis was archangel energy came down to be human. And so don't be surprised if you get to feeling into your light body and they give you, oh, and by the way, your archangel name is such and such. Don't be surprised. You know, I mean, that shouldn't surprise anyone. We're light beings, one whole complete light being. And so embracing that is embracing that truth, is that you're going to be inspired. If you're doing work with archangels, you're going to be inspired by either incarnate now or incarnate in other lifetimes, led to other lifetimes that they've had of light beings. And people are going to get that kind of information. And so I'm not afraid to say that to people. So if you get that information, if you're told, yeah, there's an archangel so-and-so incarnate right now, and it may be a name you've never heard of before, it's not just a few archangel names that we've heard of, don't be surprised by that. Don't think you're crazy. Don't be afraid to reach out and say, hey, you know, because we're whole and complete light beings. We have names as those light beings, and there's, you know, it's time we embrace that. We are archangel energy, many of us here. Some are other energies primarily, but archangel energy is what came down and started Atlantis. So the fact that you had human inspiration, whether incarnate now or incarnate before, to draw from is not a surprising thing. And I think it's important that other people know they're not crazy if they feel like they're getting that kind of input. It's real. It's very real. We're light beings. Yeah. So, yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Showing my work.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And thank you.
All of them. I thoroughly enjoyed this one for some reason. I was just like the colors, the energy, just the whole thing was just, and after I'd done a few, then I was then
you're more comfortable with it all. Yeah, you're more comfortable with it all. Right. Yeah. It's yeah. When I first approached you about doing them, you're like, what? You want me to do what? And but you're meant to do them. You're meant to do them because you do get channeled about these beings, about, you know, the energy of them. And so, and it comes through in your artwork. So I think that's an amazing thing. So Archangel Ariel, you all, as depicted by our very intuitive Annette Baucum, who was channeled something to inspire her for what accurately represents that energy. Whether whenever she's been incarnate, ever how many times she's been incarnate, I have no clue. And also the fact that you were channeled that female energy, because of course energy is not masculine or feminine, but you were channeled to do it as feminine energy. That's very interesting too.
Well, I have sometimes it depends on the person who wants it. Like I have done Raphael back there for you. But I've also done a Raphael for a friend of mine who wanted more of the masculine energy.
Right.
And so, yes, I did that one, you know, and more masculine. And it's however people feel, whatever energy they feel the most. But yeah.
And I think, yeah, I think that plays really importantly into what I've been trying to communicate to people about the labels we have and what we've done with labeling energy as divine feminine and divine masculine. I understand we did that to make it relevant and understandable to how our society is and how we are, and so we could grow and expand and be better, you know, improve ourselves. So I get all of that, but energy is energy, and we have two natures of it within us, and sometimes more of the feminine is to come out, sometimes more of the masculine is to come out, as humans see it and personify it. Energy itself, I don't know what they call it. They may call it A and B. They may call it pink and purple. You know, I don't know what they call it, but so it's going to express itself just as like it does in us, which is why it's okay for men to cry and for women to be tough sometimes, and vice versa. It's not about what your label is. It's about the fact we have two types of energy. We use them as we need to use them. That's what the balance is. The balance isn't, oh my God, it's got to be 50-50, or that's a guy, so he's got to be more this, or that's a girl, she's got to be more that. No, it's what are you being called in your heart space? What is your who and what you are? What is that calling you to be energetically? And that's the energy you draw on. So sometimes I'm quite sure Archangel Raphael draws more on the masculine, sometimes on the feminine. Same with Ariel. But the embodiment of Ariel that you were drawn to was the feminine expression, but in a tough, badass way, but that's still feminine. So I find that very interesting.
Yeah. And that's just how I felt about Ariel is, yeah, I wanted her tough because she is tough. I wanted her ready to kick butt if she had to, and using whatever ways she needed to do that, whether it be her little wand, whether it be her whatever she keeps in her pouch, you know, and just her wisdom, because she is a peaceful warrior. She's a warrior, but she's a peaceful warrior. So
Her
yeah,
presence, the presence of her frequency, the presence,
yes.
because our power is our frequency. So the presence of her frequency.
Right. So I see her settling things just with her wisdom and her innate power to do that. Yes.
Right. Yeah. Because as we know, like with Archangel Michael, his sword, it's unconditional love. So whatever's in that wand, whatever's in that pouch, they're personifications of the energy of the frequency that we are created in, which is unconditional love. It's focused unconditional love. It's who and what we are, focused to accomplish, to move us forward as a collective and as individuals and in situations in the right direction, in frequency. And so I think, yeah, absolutely. I think you definitely captured her amazingly.
Thank you.
So thank you for,
I love it. It was hard to part with.
yeah. I'll have to take care of that. You know, yeah, I've got to take care of that. I know, but yeah, it's I'm blessed to have it. And so thank you so very much. And but what I really need to do is there needs to be a gallery. You got to do enough of these so we can just have a brick and mortar gallery, and so people can just come in and they can see the originals, and I need to not hog the originals, but I don't, because I keep them back here on my wall. I have to figure out now where I'm going to put her and how I'm going to make sure everybody sees her all the time. So, but thank you so much, Annette. Amazing work, Archangel Ariel, you all, as channeled to and expressed by the amazing artwork of our own Earth Angel, Annette Baucum.
Thank you. And
Thank
you're
you.
welcome.